Hi, Ivy. Happy Holy Thursday. Hope you have a good evening. I just wanted to record a little mini lesson for you on the Bach Gounod Prelude. So let's begin. So this is a piece for vibrato, so it's not really crazy and notey or anything. It's just really beautiful, simple melodies, perfect for perfecting your vibrato. So you don't have to practice it with vibrato yet, though. Learn the notes, and then once you have those really under your fingers, we'll start adding vibrato in. And it starts in measure 5 for viola, and we'll get started. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so a couple things to mark. The second note in the whole piece is a low second finger. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. So this piece is in C, so no sharps, no flats. So you'll have low 2 on the D and the A strings. You'll really have to save bow or just go as slow as you can with good tone. I realized in my own playing that I had to kind of just let the bow sit on the string and do the work, do all the tone, because otherwise it sounded a little too harsh. So I actually needed to kind of lighten up a little bit and play the whole piece a little softer than I would most solo pieces. It's kind of more like playing introverted rather than out for the whole world to hear. Let's see, I did a couple of shifts. You don't have to do any of those, so ignore some of those fingerings where I went up into third position. That was just for better vibrato, but you don't need to do that at all. And then the other thing that's kind of key for this one is to sing it. There's a whole bunch of videos of this online, like on YouTube, with the words and the sung part, even with a piano accompaniment below you, and that'll give you the perfect idea of how to make those lines of, the phrases really beautiful. In general, a phrase kind of looks like a hill, and as you're going up the hill towards the middle of the phrase, you'll usually do a bit of a crescendo, and then as you're ending the phrase, a little decrescendo. But there's a couple places where the harmony is really kind of goading you on and building the piece, and those you just have to keep bringing up, bringing up, bringing up. But definitely take some moments to come back down. That's the hardest part about dynamics, is coming back to the piano. So like in measure 19, that's a really good moment to come down to your sweetest soft sound that you can get. And then I think that measure 22 is kind of it's the grand peak of the piece. It's not the most exciting, passionate peak. It's like the most royal sounding peak. So really, smooth bows and very relaxed bow arm. Then in measure 26, the music starts to really kind of ramp up into some more like stormy kind of sounds. And so you'll want to really use, the digging in of your bow to bring out that kind of excitement, and your vibrato can really get going in there too. And then the highest note of the piece is in measure 34, and so that's when I've written in broadly big free sound, just your entire bow for that whole little section. Those three measures, measure 33, 34, and 35, should all just be big, huge bows, big sound, like the biggest, warmest, roundest sound that you can go for. And then at the end, you're really not the spotlight. It's all about the piano player kind of wrapping it up. So just sound pretty and have a nice little pleasant vibrato right there at the end. So I hope this was helpful, and play along with it as often as you can. And I hope this is a really fun piece to play with your mom on piano too. So hope you have a great week. Happy Easter. Take care.